Welcome to the 2021 Golf Summer Series, race number 5. Tonight, we're here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway for the Denny's 400. For our first midweek race of the season, we head to this historic short track in the beautiful and sandy shores here in South Carolina, as 35 drivers and teams prepare for what should be a good one here tonight. But before we get started, let's take a look at our starting lineup. So on the pole, we have Trey Smith, who comes into this race second in points, and next to him is just a Cohen Racing teammate, Untitled Scott. Row 2, Joe T and Dominic Payment, who finished second at this race last year. Row 3, Owen Miles and Nelson Reeves. Row 4, Reim and Kyle Salmon. Row 5, RC Gamer and Matthew Hill. Row 6, Richard Herman and Kellen Baker. Row 7, Herbert Salmon and Brendan Beal. Row 8, John McFadden and Armory Digital winner Braden Carruthers. Row 9, Hoodlum, your winner from the Roval this past weekend, and Dan Matteillo. Row 10, Mexico City winner Bradley Reim and Aiden Robertson. Row 11 is Movement, your winner from Texas World, and Ryan Wilson. Row 12, Johnny Hernandez and Keisha Hutchison. Row 13, Random J and Nick Sant. Row 14, Jordan Forbes and Matthew Burnett. Row 15, David Johnson and Jason Albert. Row 16, current points leader Jordan Stout and Dan McTrain. Row 17, Devin Payment and Lipsy. And row 18 is Ross McTrain in 35. And now it is time for the starting command here at Myrtle Beach. Let's take a look at the track info here for tonight's race. So we're going to go 80 laps on this roughly 2/3 of a mile long short track with 13 degrees of banking in the turns. And as for the weather here tonight in Myrtle Beach, 71 degrees Fahrenheit with 11 miles per hour towards the southeast. And as the field comes off turn number 4, Knowledge Cohen Racing front row lead the field to green here at Myrtle Beach. Going into turn number 1, the two Cohen Racing cars are still side by side as they come off turn number 2. And now into turn number 3, Untitled Scott will clear his Cohen Racing teammate for the lead as here comes Dominic Payment on the outside, side by side with Trey Smith. Scott will lead lap number 1 as the battle for second is on between Smith and Payment. So Payment and Smith nearly touch going into turn number 1 there. Down the back and into turn number 3, Dominic will clear Trey Smith for second. As here comes Nelson Reeves in the 16 trying to challenge for that position. Behind your current Rookie of the Year leader is his fellow rookies of Kyle Salmon and Joe T, who are also side by side for positions here. Into turn number 3, Smith is still side by side with Reeves, as Salmon will clear Joe T before for the 5th position. Of course, as I mentioned already, Trey Smith came to this race second in points, coming off a rather disappointing run at the Roval last week, finishing 12th. While Smith tucks into 4th, Joe T and Kyle Salmon are still side by side for 5th. Joe T coming off his first Golf Summer Series top 10 at the Roval, while Kyle Salmon was coming off a 15th place finish. Down the back straight, they're still side by side, but Salmon will clear Joe T for the 5th position. Last Saturday's runner-up Brendan Beal side by side with Reim. This is for the 10th position. Behind these two is Braden Carruthers and RC Gamer side by side for the 12th position. Both coming off rather subpar runs at the Roval, with Carruthers barely hanging on inside the top 10 in points. Behind these two is Richard Herman in the 95, currently the 14th position. There's 3 wide right behind him down the back straightaway. So around goes Keisha Hutchison and Ryan Wilson into turn number 3. And the caution will be displayed for the first time tonight at Myrtle Beach. Looks like that time by, Untitled Scott led that time by. as he will come down pit road alongside Kyle Salmon, Matthew Hill. as all the other leaders will stay out on track. Dominic Payment, Nelson Reeves, Trey Smith are just some of the guys staying out here. Other cars coming on pit road here include Brendan Beal, Herbert Salmon, John McFadden, Random J, Jordan Forbes, and many others heading down pit road. And as for the race off of pit road, Kyle Salmon ends up beating Untitled Scott with Matthew Hill in third right behind him. Looks like Dan Matteillo in the 14s now down pit road for whatever reason. Getting reports that there is a vibration on that 14 car, which is definitely our tough rig. So Matteillo has had a very, very horrible start to the season so far. But now let's take a look at the instant replay to see what caused our first caution of the night. So all this started as Keyshawn Richardson and Ryan Wilson were side by side off turn number 2. It's like, oh, Wilson just turned into Keyshawn Richardson. Sent them both spinning into the wall. So on board for Ryan Wilson here. Yeah, Wilson definitely came down on Richardson there. Took both suffered pretty minor damage. We'll continue the rest of this race as we're under caution for the first time tonight at Myrtle Beach. Welcome back to the Golf Summer Series here from Myrtle Beach. We're about to come back green after a multi-car spin involving Keyshawn Richardson, the 24, and Ryan Wilson, the 7, your defending Winter Street Stocks champion. Both drivers are still in the race, albeit way deep in the field. Also during our last caution, we had some guys come down pit road. Currently first to 14th for all drivers that stayed out. Drivers who pitted or 15th on back. Currently Dominic Payment, Nelson Reeves, and Trey Smith are your top 3 as we're back on the green here at Myrtle Beach. Restart there for the 55 for Payment as he pulls away from Nelson Reeves down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, you can actually see the top 2 pull away a little bit from Trey Smith in the 66. And they come off turn number 4 as Dominic Payment will lead lap number 13 of 80. As Colin Baker there tries to hold off Owen Miles in the 60 for the 5th spot. As we're now on board with Nelson Reeves in the 16. Come down to lap number 15 of 80. Nelson Reeves came to this race 6th in points as the current Rookie of the Year point leader. Another driver coming off a rather mediocre run at the Roval this past Saturday. Pole sitter Trey Smith still holding on to the 3rd position, as his fellow front row sitter and Jacone Racing teammate Untitled Scott went down pit road this past caution cycle. Behind him is Joe T in the 17 on the 4th position, trying to get his 2nd straight Golf Summer Series top 10 as well as his first ever Summer Series top 5. Defending series champion Kellen Baker in the 5th position. Of course, Baker Racing won this place last year with Sean Art, who was driving the 19 car at the time. However, Art has moved on to a co-owner role at Railfan Motorsports. Owen Miles currently in 6th. Came to this race 8th in points, trying to get his 4th Golf Summer Series top 10 of the season. In 7th is Rain Vale in the 8. She came to this race 12th in points. The 8 teams coming off a rather mediocre stretch of races at both Texas World and the Roval. So far, Vale is doing a good job here tonight at Myrtle Beach. Behind her is RC Gamer in the 8th position. He came this race all the way back in 30th in the point standings. Currently, his only top 10 came from Texas World a couple weeks ago. As I mentioned, Brendan Carruthers is currently 9th, just hanging on inside the top 10 in points. And Richard Herman came this race 16th in points, coming off a respectable 11th race run at the Roval this past Saturday. Behind him in 11th is Ada Robertson in the 1. He came this race into 25th position in points. And there's your winner from the Roval, Hoodlum in the 3 car, currently in 12th, 11th in the point standings. Nick Sent currently 13th. He came this race 24th in the point standings. And there's Johnny Hernandez. Came this race 29th in points after being involved in an accident on lap number 1 at the Roval. And there's Kyle Salmon currently in 15th. And as I mentioned just before the restart, Salmon's one of the many drivers, in fact, that went down pit road. And he's currently the highest running driver of them so far. Untitled Scott went a couple laps earlier in the race, currently in 16th. Matthew Hill currently in 17th. came this race 21st in the point standings. The winner from Texas World is Movement, currently in 18th. He came this race 18th in points, lost over 12 positions after last week's race at the Roval. Matthew Burnett came this race 26th in points. Ended up getting his first Summer Series DNF of the season at the Roval last Saturday. And there's David Johnson, the 2 car. Came this race 15th, lost 10 positions in the points alone from the Roval last Saturday. Johnson currently runs in the 20th position, while Lipsy currently in 21st. Came this race 27th in points. Ross McTrain up to 22nd after starting last. Not too bad of a job. Good driver 35 so far. There's his arch rival, Brendan Beal in the 22. Making the pass on him for second. Looks like McTrain will hold on. John McFadden currently in 24th. Devin Payman in 25th. Herbert Salmon in 26th. Bradley Reim in 27th. As Random J side by side with Jordan Forbes for the 28th position. And behind those two is Jason Albert, currently 3rd in the standings. Dan McTrain currently 31st. Trying to hold off Ryan Wolsinger, defending Winter Street Stocks champion. And current points leader Jordan Stout in the 11. So far having pretty mediocre days, but they did come down pit road during this last caution cycle, trying to play strategy here. And there's Keisha Ernst, the 24, currently the last car on the lead lap in the 34th spot after being involved on the only caution of the race so far. And Dana Matteillo currently a lap down, about to go 2 laps down after coming on pit road during the last caution cycles late. And as Dominic Payment will come to lead lap number 28 of 80. It's time for some midweek Golf Summer Series Crank It Up. Lap number 35 of 80 here at Myrtle Beach, and so far has been all Dominic Payment in that 55 team, as they have led the most laps here so far tonight. Dominic Payment came in this race 28th in points, coming off a top 10 run at the Roval this past Saturday. And as I mentioned, he finished runner-up at this race last year. And so far, that 55 team has done a superb job tonight here at Myrtle Beach. Currently the car in front of him is Dan Matteillo in the 14. Had to come down pit road during the last caution cycle due to a vibration. So far it appears Matteillo is keeping up with minimum speed, and for the most part that's going to be quite a factor for these leaders. Nelson Reeves still in the 2nd position, trying to chase down Dominic Payment for quite some time now. Currently a little over 2 tenths per second, separates 55 and 16. And cutting back to some of our drivers who pitted during our last caution cycle, who were on the lead lap. Kyle Salmon still in the 15th spot, with Nunick and Scott right behind him in 86th. definitely won't be surprised if we see some pit stop cycles here soon. As I mentioned, everyone from 1st to 14th have yet to pit in this race. Nick Stant holding off Johnny Hernandez there. Herman there looking to the inside, rating Carruthers for the 9th position. And back up front, looks like the gap has closed a little bit between Nelson Reeves and Dominic Payment, not by much though, as it's now down to exactly 0.2 for the second. Trey Smith in 66 actually making up a little bit of ground on these two leaders as we hit lap number 42 of 80, just past halfway done here at Myrtle Beach, as Dominic that time by gained a whole 10th on Nelson Reeves. Lap number 43 of 80 as the top three is actually pulling away a little bit from the rest of the field. As Smith now looks to the outside of Reeves for second, but he wasn't able to get a run there. On board the back bumper of Nelson Reeves here into 16. Smith inching closer and closer. Lap number 44 of 80 now. Smith looking to the outside of Reeves once again off turn number 2. Wasn't able to get a run once again. Now comes Payment and Reeves down pit road. This will kick off our cycle of green flag pit stops. Currently, those are the only two guys down pit road. There's Trey Smith who lead his first lap here of the night. We'll see if any other drivers follow the 60 to 55 down pit road. Looks like we will. Trey Smith down pit road, alongside Owen Miles, RC Gamer, Brandon Carruthers, among others. Richard Herman also down pit road. We've got more cars standing out here. Joe T ended up with the lead that time by. We'll see if he will come down pit road. Looks like he will. Joe T, Kellen Baker, Rain Vale, Hoodlum down pit road. As Kyle Salmon will take the lead away from Joe T off turn going into turn number 3. And just a reminder that all these cars still on the track already pitted during the last caution cycle. So they don't need to pit anytime soon. But of course, by the end of this race, we'll find out if that was the right decision or not to come in early or come in now. As off pit road, Owen Miles starts, Trey Smith into the wall! Hard hit for the 66 into turn number 1 as the caution will come back out again. And that time by Kyle Salmon would feel back to the stripe. And that caution came out at the worst possible time for anybody that came down pit road these past several laps. A couple guys stacking up here. Brandon Carruthers, RC Gamer getting some minor damage there. As we got cars coming down pit road, it's actually the drivers who pitted during our last caution since this caution came out. Everyone behind you is basically a lap down at this point now. Might as well come in for some fresh tires. A great pit stop there from Brendan Beal into 22 as he will win the race off pit road, beating Kyle Salmon. And there's Beal and Salmon coming back on the track from pit road. Looks like the lead will transfer over to Brad Reim in the 40 car as he did stay out. Kellen Baker in the 21 behind him is actually a lap car. Keisha Harrison, who was involved in the spin earlier, up to the 2nd position. But now let's take a look at the replay to see what caused this rather bizarre wreck between two teammates and two drivers that are both inside the top 10 points and were in contention for the night's race. So this started as Trey Smith and his pit crew completed his pit stop and was pulling out of his pit box. So 66 coming out of his box, out of pit road. And then here's Owen Miles, just turns him into the wall. Hard hit for Trey Smith in that concrete wall. Hopefully he's alright after that. That was a very, very violent hit. Let's go on board with the 66 for Trey Smith here. Just nothing he can do. Just, oh my god. Hard hit there. As we're back under caution once again here at Myrtle Beach. We'll bring up you guys after this. This Sunday for race number 6, the Golf Summer Series heads to the Steelback Stadium in Pittsburgh for the first time for the PP&G 400. The Auburn channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so a little bit of a later starting time, as to not contend with the Sonoma Cup race that day. Meanwhile, back here in Myrtle Beach, Brad Reim, currently the leader, was about to go back green after a very, very violent and bizarre wreck between Owen Miles in the 60 and Trey Smith in the 66. The 66 currently the only car out of this race, but Owen Miles currently in 29th. And as a result from the aforementioned caution, all the drivers who were coming out of pit road are a lap down. So currently 15th on down, all at least one lap down. So this is definitely going to make for an interesting restart for sure. So back in the green here at Myrtle Beach. Into turn number 1, looks like Kellen Baker will clear Brad Reim and gets a lap back. So Brad Reim gets turned and a huge pileup happens here in the back straightaway. Dominic Payment, John McFadden, Aiden Robertson, Jordan Stout with damage. Richard Herman in 95, among others, involved. David Johnson on his roof into turn number 1. RC Gamer in the 42 also with damage, and Jason Albert in the 80 car. As the caution will come back out once again for 2 huge and violent wrecks once again here at Myrtle Beach. So the damage to Aiden Robertson, the 1, Johnny Hernandez, that car is absolutely toast. And as the 24 comes on pit road, let's take a look at instant replay to see what the hell exactly happened. So this is coming off turn number 2. Brad Reim was in front of the lap car of Redding Carruthers. Check off 2. Carruthers just turns Brad Reim, and while that happened, Dominic Payment ended up coming up on RC Gamer and I believe Nottingham Scott, and just a huge pileup as all the other cars just pile in. And after that, Jordan Stout actually got turned there a little bit. And after that, this is coming off turn number 4. It looks like we're 4 wide into turn number 1. And boom, just Johnson makes contact with Jason Albert and just sends that 2 car up in the air. And RC Gamer hitting his back window. Definitely a very scary wreck for David Johnson, as he will be done for today as more cars hit him as they go into turn number 2. It's on board for Nelson Reeves in 16. And wow, what a great miss there for Nelson Reeves, even though he did hit Richard Herman off turn number 2. Speaking of, let's go on board for Richard Herman. A hard hit there for Herman as he slammed into the right rear of Brad Reim. Let's go on board for RC Gamer. Looks like Dominic actually came up with both him and Kyle Salmon. My apologies there for mistaking him for Nottingham Scott. And as RC escaped from that first wreck, the second wreck happens. Oh my god. You know, in short tracks, it's pretty common to see cars right behind the back bumper of one another, but certainly not upside down. Anyways, back under caution here at Myrtle Beach for this massive pileup in the back straightaway. We'll grab you guys after this. Welcome back to the Golf Summer Series here from Myrtle Beach. We're about to come back green after a massive pileup in the back straightaway, in addition to David Johnson going airborne and flipping into turn number 1. And as you can see now, even more drivers are now out of this race and done for the night. Well, while the other lap cars are still on the inside, and that was basically the main cause over our last caution, so won't be surprised to see another one here soon. Here we go, Brendan Beal and Nottingham Scott lead the field back to green here at Myrtle Beach. Beal will clear Brandon Carruthers into turn number 1. So Carruthers nearly gets turned going into turn number 2. He's able to save it as the rest of the field comes down the back straightaway. Well, trouble, Herbert Stolman goes around the back straightaway, caution back out again. You know, back to the start-finish line. Matthew nearly gets turned by Kyle Salmon. He's able to save it once again. So Vale gets turned into the grass and back on the field collects the car under Brendan Carruthers. Looks like Random J in the 53 got a piece of that as well, as we're back under caution for the 4th time here tonight. Looks like that time by Brendan Beal. Still able to hold on to the rear of Nottingham Sky in the 86 right behind him. But now let's take a look at the instant replay to see what caused these set of wrecks. So starting with the Herbert Stolman incident, this is coming off turn number 2. So Jordan's down to 11, just turned him. Sent him spinning, looks like Stolman able to continue. Meanwhile, as for Rain Vale and Nelson Reeves, this is coming off turn number 4. So Reeves just turned Vale into the grass, and Vale just came back on the track, nowhere to go for Brandon Carruthers. It's hard in the wall for both the 8 and 4 car. Let's go on board for Nelson Reeves here. Yeah, definitely turned Vale into the grass. Slams the wall and hits Brandon Carruthers. Nowhere for the 4 car to go there. Definitely can't fault that on Rain Vale. So back under caution once again here at Myrtle Beach. Welcome back to the Golf Summer Series here from Myrtle Beach. We're about to go back green after our 4th caution of the night. It initially came out for Herbert Salmon, the 67, spinning out in the back straightaway. But in addition to that, Nelson Reeves ended up turning Ray Vela into Hertz Carter and teammate Brandon Carruthers. And as you can see, the lap and damage cars are still on the inside of the lane as Brendan Beal, Nuttig, and Scott lead the field back to green here at Myrtle Beach. And boy, what a great restart for Brendan Beal into turn number 1 as he pulls away from the rest of the field. Nuttig and Scott's trapped behind Carruthers down the back straightaway as now into turn number 3, and Scott on the outside of Carruthers trying to pass him to catch up to Brendan Beal. Beal leads lap number 66 of 80 as Scott will clear Carruthers into turn number 1. Matthew Hill and Kyle Salmon also trying to do the same as Salmon clears Nelson Reeves into turn number 3. But as I said, here comes Nelson Reeves once again side by side with Salmon. This is going to really hold up that 36 car. So around goes movement in the front stretch grass. And I'll bring the caution back out for the 5th time for car number 5. Moving on back to the stripe, the lap car is still causing a nuisance for some of our elite lap drivers as Brendan Beal will lead the field back to the stripe. As I got issues here in turn number 1, Ryan Wilson and Joe T go around. Both drivers did receive some damage there, even though they were both involved in earlier incidents. As we're going to take a look at the instant replay, this is what caused this caution. So all this started coming off turn number 3 as Movement and Dominic Payment are racing below the top 20 here. Off of 4, Payment just turns Movement into the grass, and great work by a camera team there for capturing that. Movement able to get no damage tonight, able to save it. As now after the caution, looks like Danny McTrain just turned Ryan Wilson into Joe T there. Causing a bit of slowdown there. And after that, and while that was happening, this happened. Salmon was displeased by how Nelson Reeves was racing him during that green flag run as we're under caution yet again here at Myrtle Beach. Welcome back to the Golf Summer Series here from Myrtle Beach. We're about to go back green after our 5th caution today that came up for car number 5 of its movement. And thank the Lord, since this is less than 10 laps to go, the cars that are lapped down or more, all single file, so hopefully we won't see another caution here. As Brendan Beal, Nuttig and Scott, and Matthew Hill lead the field back to green here at Myrtle Beach. Only 8 laps to go. Carruthers is already side by side with Scott. I don't know what Carruthers is trying to do here as he's a lap down. But into turn number 3, Scott will clear Carruthers as we come down to 7 laps to go. Matthew Hill trying to get past by Nelson Reeves. But now he has to deal with Kyle Salmon for that 3rd spot. Down the back straight, the lap cars of Reeves and Carruthers side by side as Brendan Beal and Scott pull away from the rest of the field. Coming to 6 laps to go, Brendan Beal still with the lead as here comes Nelson Reeves side by side with Nuttig and Scott. To nearly touch there into turn number 1 and nearly touch again off turn number 2 as they're still side by side into turn number 3. This is definitely going to hurt Nuttig and Scott's chances of winning his first Golf Summer Series win as we come to 5 laps to go. Into 1, Reeves and Scott nearly touch again as Reeves will clear Scott down the back straightaway. And now Reeves is right behind Brendan Beal and Scott and everyone else behind him, just hoping Reeves will also hold up Brendan Beal. So Matthew Hill tucking in the 3rd right behind Brendan Carruthers. As now into turn number 3, it comes Reeves side by side with Brendan Beal. On board with Nuttig and Scott here as we come to lap number 78 of 80. 3 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach. Reeves and Beal nearly touch into turn number 2 as they're still side by side down the back straightaway. Two laps to go this time by. Reeves and Beal nearly touch again into turn number 1, but this time by into turn number 2, Nelson Reeves will clear Brendan Beal. May have spoken too soon there, but regardless, Brendan Beal's lead over Nuttig and Scott is over 8 tenths for a second as we come to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Myrtle Beach. Last summer, after the first 8 races, Brendan Beal was indefinitely suspended by Summer Series officials, but ended up being reinstated in time for the Winter Street Stocks. ended up finishing 3rd in the final series standings. And now, off turn number 4, he will see his first ever Golf Summer Series win. Checkered flag, Brendan Beal's the winner here at Myrtle Beach. Congratulations to Brendan Beal and Railfan Motorsports, their winners for tonight at Myrtle Beach. Definitely an insane, chaotic, and wreck-filled race here tonight at the golf capital of the world. But this one will definitely be the cherry on top for that 22 team after coming off 2 straight runner-up finishes. But now let's take on the finishing results and point standings after this race. So here we go. Brendan Beal finishes first, getting his first ever Golf Summer Series win, as well as the 2nd overall win for Railfan Motorsports this season. So kudos to that team so far. Finishing 2nd is Not Against God in the 86, getting his best Golf Summer Series finish to date. Also led some laps, so a good points day for the 86 team here tonight. Matthew Hill gets is also his best GSS finish so far, finishing 3rd. Kyle Salmon comes home 4th. Brandon J comes home 5th for his first top 5 of the season. Definitely a great day for that 37 team that's been mostly struggling so far this year. Joe T ends up finishing 8th, Ryan Wilson in 9th, and Jordan Stout will round off the top 10 here at Myrtle Beach. And now for the point standings after race number 5, Jordan Stout still holds strong in the points lead with 180 points, but Brendan Beal up to 2nd behind by only 7 points. The 22 team definitely the hottest team right now in the Summer Series, with finishes of 2nd, 2nd, and 1st these past 3 races. Keith Sharpson up to 3rd in points, follows Atlanta Indy team owner Random J, also up to the top 5 in points for the first time this year, in the 4th position. Defending series champion Kellen Baker back inside the top 5 in points in 5th, as Trey Smith will lose 4 positions down to the 6th position. Kyle Salmon up inside the top 10 in points for the first time in his GSS career, also subsequently takes over the Rookie of the Year point standings, as Nelson Reese falls down to 8th, 2 points back from the Rookie of the Year lead. Jason Albert down to 9th, and Jordan Forbes for the first time this year inside the top 10 in points in the 10th position. So next up, race number 6 for the first time in Golf Summer Series history. We're going to head to the Steelback Stadium in Pittsburgh for the PP&G 400 for our 2nd short track race of the year. That'll be on channel June 6th, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time after the Sonoma Cup race. So definitely one you don't want to miss. But as always, y'all, thank you guys for watching this race. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time.